You'll tell me this instant if there's truth to these rumors.
I have nothing to say on the matter, Auxiliary.
You will tell me if this portal exists. This could be my one chance to get home.
This is your home now. I suggest you find your place in it.
You're Lord Fear's newest steward, huh? Can we talk later? If I don't finish this lamp inventory, Gascon will feed me to the fabricants. Yeah, Gascon must know how much I love doing paperwork. A few days ago, Sotha Seal ordered us to rip out all the lamps in here and replace them with less efficient ones. What kind of sense does that make? Who wants weaker lamps? A bunch of factotums loaded them onto a dolly and dumped them somewhere in the mechanical fundament. Hey, I know that look. If you're looking to poach a free lamp, don't bother. Gascon made us slag them all. And that's not even the worst part. Half the old switches don't work with the new lamp, so we've had to manufacture new switches, and half the time the switches get installed backwards, which means we have to do it all over again. And don't even get me started on the lamp assembly. Sotha Seal could have turned the fabricators to make the new lamps with a flick of his finger, but he demanded that we do it instead. Do you have any idea how complex the fabricators are?
So you're Devethir's new auxiliary, eh? Tough luck, friend. I've heard he's an insufferable bastard, but at least he's not Sotha Seal. Better to be turned into a guar than to serve the clockwork god. Not anymore. In the old days, sure, he was easy to please because he was never around. These days, he changes his mind about something every night. Constant meetings, new dictums daily, adjustments to factotum patrols. It's a nightmare. Trust me, this is unprecedented. I'm afraid something's wrong with his enhancements. Like he's having trouble regulating. He's a different person, I swear. Don't tell anyone I said this, especially Gascon. Blasphemy doesn't go over well nowadays. Yes, speaking ill of a god never turns out well. In the old days, he'd take it in stride. Commit your small blasphemies, he'd say. The fire of doubt turns ignorance to steam. But not anymore. This place is becoming more like Mournhold every day. Right. I'm sure you have plenty of work to do for Lord Fear. He's back a few days and already burying you in paperwork, no doubt. Take care of yourself, friend.
So you're the one Deveth tapped to be his aide in the Brass Fortress. Sorry to hear that. Provost Varuni's ancestors hail from House Telvanni, just like Lord Fear. But honestly, they couldn't be more different. Not as bad as you might expect. She's young, youth comes with impatience, but I've never felt unfairly judged, and she's generous with her praise. Honestly, if I had the choice between serving Varuni or Sotha Seal, I'd take Varuni every time. Now more than ever, I don't pretend to understand his motives, but he's never been so demanding. One example? He insists that we turn all the lights down before he enters a room. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? It's maddening. Huh, flipping switches. That's rich. Each lamp has its own switch, and some lamps have multiple switches. And if that isn't bad enough, some switches control multiple lamps. He's a god, I know, but it shouldn't take a genius to turn on the lights. Don't even get me started. Baruni might demand some obscure tome in the middle of the night or chide someone for leaving oil on the floor, but that's the worst of it. So Cecile exiled an auxiliary last week because she forgot to switch off a lamp. Right, don't let me keep you. I can't imagine how demanding Devaith Fear must be. Better you than me, that's for sure. Keep your nose to the cogs and you'll be fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to flip 24 switches again.
Were you treated well by the menials? I assume they battered you with complaints. What have you learned? Yes, well, I could have told you that. That's why I sent you here after all. What kinds of demands? Be specific. The lamps in the locutorium, yes? The large assembly room over there? The auxiliaries and factotums have been laboring in there day and night ever since we arrived. Curious. What can lights have to do with this? Well, there's only one way to find out. Impressive. I assumed I'd have to explain it to you. Of course, this requires a functional lamp. I assume he ordered them destroyed. Speak to that high elf of yours, Nerabo. The dark elf as well. We need one of these lamps, repaired and operable.
You'll tell me this instant if there's truth to these rumors.
I have nothing to say on the matter, honestly.
You will tell me if this portal exists. This could be my one chance.
This is your home.
Well, I have to get...
I hope to see you again, Assistant. Pray tell, what did Devaith Fear have to say? I fear that he and I might have gotten off to a poor start. Did he ask about me? Any mention of my many exploits? Raynor? Surely this is something I can handle myself. Impressing Devaith Fear could greatly increase my standing in the Dwemer scholarly community. Tell me, what does Lord Fear ask of me? Us? He just wants us to build a lamp? What an odd request. No matter. I would be happy to offer my ample expertise, provided you let Devaith Fear know that I did so. First things first. I need to study one of the lamps we're supposed to recreate. Some kind of tubular housing. Probably meant to protect a glass interior? Difficult to say. A complex filament of some kind. The weaving on this fiber must be machine-made. I should be taking notes. Some kind of compressor. For funneling a gas, perhaps? Interesting. Look at the apertures on this. It must be some kind of modulator that changes the nature of the light. Compressors, filaments, housings, modulators. Yes! I think I understand what these discarded lights have in common. Unlike the other lamps, these compress some kind of geodic gas into metal tubes. Then modulate the light to create another kind of illumination that mortal eyes cannot see. Invisible light! Remarkable! The potential applications are limitless. Yes, with Raynor's assistance, I believe we can recreate this lamp without much difficulty. Of course, You'll need to procure the requisite parts. These are all broken beyond repair. What do you plan to do with this light, exactly? You plan to do what? Oh dear. Well, this seems like a terrible idea, but I shall rely upon you and Lord Fear to protect me. Here's a list of the components I'll need. Once you've acquired them, meet me in the Hall of Refined Techniques. Good luck.
Now there's the look of someone on the hunt for something specific. You've come to the right place, friend. I've got a bit of everything. What can I get you? As a matter of fact, I acquired some of those just a few days ago. Apparently, someone's tossing out the old lighting to make way for the new. They're not easy to come by anymore, though. What's your offer? Varuni Arvel? Well, that changes everything. Any friend of Varuni's is a friend of mine. Why don't you take this tube on the house? Just let Varuni know how helpful I was, all right? And that I'm pretty good looking. Well spoken, too. Deal?
Another one, eh? Come to gawk at Titus the Mad? Well, I'm not insane, no matter what you may have heard. And I might be your only hope to defeat the Ankh-Ra. The Ankh-Ra, the cursed Yokudan army that has invaded Craglorn. They serve the Celestial Warrior, but their true master is their general, a man of unmatched cruelty named Tarash Z. I can help defeat him. Call me Titus. It's a long story, but I'm familiar with Tarash Z and his army of Ankh-Ra. Centuries ago, they were part of the Ragada, the Yokudan invasion force that subdued and conquered Craglorn. But Tarash Z and his army were among the worst. Undead? Ha! These are no rotting Draugr or mindless skeletons. But it's true. They can't hardly be called living either. Untie these bonds and help me stop them. I'll tell you what I can when I'm free. It'd be an amusing story if the situation weren't so dire. An unseen force pulled me from my time into yours and dropped me in the midst of Dragonstar's grand melee, stark naked. I won, naturally. Then the soldiers arrested me, just as naturally. We're all from the past. I'm just from farther past. I can explain better what's going on if you free me and help me stop Tarish Z and the Ankara. And maybe find me some clothes as well? Thank you. You are a noble soul. Perhaps you'll actually believe my extraordinary tale when there is time to tell it. But first, meet me at the cave called Buried Sands. If my suspicions are correct, we'll find something we need there. Ah, that'll be sore tomorrow. Let's get away from here before we're seen. I'll try to grab some proper clothes and a weapon. Meet me at the cave known as Buried Sands. There's something I have to retrieve there. I'll explain more when you arrive. You made it. Good. There's an ancient burial chamber at the rear of this cave. That's where we need to go. The Ankara. The self-proclaimed Emperor Tarish Z's personal army. Each warrior pledged eternal loyalty to the Emperor. The cursed form they wear is the mark of their servitude. Sands. It can only mean that Tarish Z has returned as well. They are bound here, you see. They rise to his call. Once he ruled these lands, he will seek to do so again.